This isn't about leaving with regrets. It's about stepping into the next chapter of your life. So, in case you're new here, you may not know that I was a flight attendant for Emirates, and I spent 10 years traveling around the world with them. And today I thought I'd share something that's deeply personal to me, which is basically 10 reasons why I wouldn't go back to Emirates. And why this has everything to do with me and nothing to do with the airline. Because as we all know, it has its good and bad things. So this is all about growth, gratitude, and choosing a new path. So let's do this. Okay, so reason number 1. I value freedom over structure. I was hired by Emirates very young. I had just turned 22 when I moved to Dubai. So I think it was a great school to teach me all about discipline and about structure, while also giving me the best experiences of my life. And I think that structure is actually very necessary for someone who's transiting their first jobs, because it kind of like paves the way to how you're going to work in the future, what kind of employee you're going to be. And it's also going to teach you what you like and what you don't like in a job and even in a career. For me, it really woke up this love for aviation and travel, which I always had but didn't know I have. So yeah, I think it does a great job at doing that. But today, reality is that freedom is my luxury. I love waking up and choosing where, when, and how I work. And if I'm honest with you, that lifestyle was not possible while flying. And it does feel pretty limiting. So yeah, that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is that I want to travel mindfully. I don't want to rush. So what happens when you work as a flight attendant is that you fly somewhere. So it's either going to be a shorter or short-ish kind of flight, 4 to 5 hours. It could be up to 16, 17, depending on the flight. And then you're going to get to the destination and either get 24 to 48. If you're lucky, in some rare cases, I've gotten 72 hours in a layover. And that means that if you want to see the city, you gotta hurry up. You're gonna have to leave tiredness aside and get out there and explore, which I did a lot. But towards the end of my stay with Emirates, I noticed I was doing less often because I was just too tired. They also started changing the hotels, and they were very far away from, downtown, or they were like next to the airport. So you really had to make an effort to get out and explore. And reality is that now in my 30s, I crave deeper and slower travel. I want to be able to experience the place where I'm at. I want to get to know the culture. I want to try all the food, be able to speak to locals, maybe learn a few words or phrases in the local language. So I kind of want to savor the place. I don't want to just, go okay, photo in front of the Fontana di Trevi, check, I really want to enjoy it and maybe go to very, very small and hidden spots that not everyone knows about. And that takes time. So yeah, slow travel vibes for sure. Reason number 3, I think it's one of the biggest ones, and it's protecting my energy is a priority. Flight attendant life can be glamorous, don't get me wrong, but it's only part of it that's glamorous. The other part is basically hard work and dealing with a lot of people's energies and different types of energies too, right? Because you've got your team, and if you're a senior like I was, you're in charge of that team. You've also got the passengers who may be, a bit, I want to say, stressed because of stuff going on in their lives, because traveling stresses them out too. So that's a lot to deal with. And I used to find myself very much drained after a flight. So I feel like protecting that energy is a priority today. So, I really believe in, stop working whenever I'm like, okay, I've had enough. Also, I have a very creative job. So, if the creativity runs out, I can say, you know what, I'll work a little bit more tomorrow. I'll just stop here. And also, if I'm feeling very creative one day, I may be working all day long and it's completely fine. But yeah, rest, mindfulness, and spaciousness, that's luxury to me. Reason 4, this was also a huge one. I feel like I'm saying this was a huge one for like every single one of them, but they really did show up a lot, especially in the last year when I was flying. Reason 4 is I want to lead my own adventures. I don't want to follow a roster. So we would have to wait until the end of the month or mid-month so I would know where I would be going, where I'd be spending my birthday, my friend's birthday. Did I get the leave that I wanted to get? Am I gonna be able to spend the holidays at home or, do whatever, go to a brunch even or whatever, It was as if someone else was dictating my schedule for me, which is exactly what it was. And now I feel like I can create my own itinerary at my own pace, which is sometimes faster and some other days it's a bit slower, but I get to dictate what that looks like. And that's a huge deal to me. Reason number 5 is that luxury took a whole new meaning to me that is more than labels. It's so easy to get caught up in this whole, I'm staying at a 5-star hotel and, I'm going to go do this spa treatment and I'm going to go to like spend the day at an all-inclusive resort, because Emirates really takes care of you. They really pamper you because they know that you have a really tough job on board. So they give you all of these abilities to rest at a layover at a nice place, but also when you're in Dubai, right? So yeah, to me is, being at those hotels and going to like very nice restaurants and whatever, like that was luxury to me. But now it's not about, expensive hotels or these first class lounges every time I flew as a passenger, even though I still go to them, but as a treat, not as like a necessity to have this luxury in my life, because I do feel like I have luxury every day in my life. And that means, having peace, being able to do a morning routine, journal, being able to do a really nice, shower ritual where I just use all of my favorite products. That's luxury to me, and I wasn't able to do that all the time because I was moving around so much and not at home most of the time. Reason 6 was a huge game changer for me, and it's that I prioritize rest. It is a non-negotiable for me. Guys, I cannot even tell you how burnt out I was when I was a flight attendant the last few years because our schedules were jam-packed. And they were within legality, so I can't really say anything wrong. But for me personally, I was so tired. I've changed that completely because what I do now is, I make rest a priority. As a matter of fact, I was starting to feel a little creator burnout lately because I've been doing so much with this, with my other job, with clients and whatnot. And I said, you know what? No, like you get to say whether you want to take a rest or not, because you don't have to get to the point of burning out, right? So I love the fact that I can just, prioritize the fact that I need to rest and not have to run out to a flight to God knows where when I'm feeling like I just can't do it. Reason 7 is I'm building a life I thoroughly enjoy. And that means that I don't feel like I have to escape from that life. Whenever I feel like I need to rest, I rest, like I said before, but I don't feel like I need to have days off. I need to have a vacation. No, because I work those in in my life every day, right? It's like every single day feels intentional. Even me sitting here making this video for you, this is completely intentional. I'm here because I want to be here. And that's just, it makes me feel so happy, you know? And who wants to escape from happy? Reason 8 is that I define success completely different today. I feel like when I was a flight attendant for Emirates, because it's a big company, there are different ways of defining success. And, I think for most companies, but specifically for Emirates, it was, are you going to get your upgrade? Maybe, you got an award for something that you did, or I don't know. It was the only way to be successful, right? And now working independently and doing something that I love, I define success in a completely different way. Like, to me, being able to organize my life in the way that I want to have small wins regarding, clients, or even like myself and what I'm doing with this channel and on other social media platforms like TikTok. Like, to me, that's success, because I know how hard and how intentionally I work every day to create everything that I'm creating. Even, setting up this small studio at my house, this is a measure of success to me. It's like I'm prioritizing things differently now. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. Reason 9 is that I seek experiences that are meaningful and curated. And again, it's not like, oh, okay, I'm going to a luxurious place, which happened a lot when you flew Emirates. It's more like, going to a really nice Pilates class or yoga class or meditation, sound bath, whatever. Like, that to me is already a luxury. Or going to have a cafe at this really nice place overlooking the ocean. That's already a huge thing. I feel like you start seeing the beauty in things that are easier to get, but not everyone realizes how important they are. And finally, reason 10 is I'm creating my own legacy. I am very proud of having worn the Emirates uniform for so long, of having worked in aviation. It was one of the most, I want to say meaningful, but I don't think that's the right word. I think it was one of the experiences that allowed me to get to know myself the most, the good and the bad, both, because I've seen the best of myself and the worst of myself through that job. But now I'm building something of my own. I'm building something that reflects my own values, what I stand for, what, I feel is good for me, and hopefully is also good for you, maybe, you're sitting here watching this video and you feel like you've taken something from it. And that to me means a lot. And that's part of what I'm building. And yeah, that makes me really proud. So I want to leave you with this message, because you may be experiencing what I experienced in my last year as a flight attendant. Maybe you're flying, or maybe not. You're at your current job and you feel like, you want to leave your career, but at the same time, you feel like your career defines you, which is kind of what happened to me. So I just want to say, leaving a career you love doesn't mean you didn't value it. It just means that you've outgrown it. Look, I'm still exploring. I'm still chasing wonder. I'm still traveling. I'm still enjoying, but I'm doing it my own way. Thank you for watching, and please let me know, what does success mean to you? What are the things that really matter to you that will make you live a more fulfilled life, a luxurious life? What does that mean to you? I'm going to be reading and replying all week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.